Hi guys, my name is Mayank and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am going to do a book review of a book that I read recently. The name of the book is The Psychology of Money. I'm not sure if you've heard of this book, but I heard of this book in one of the videos by Ankur Wariku. And I was really fascinated by the subject itself, the title itself, which says that the psychology of money. Because usually we have always understood that money and finance, it's a mathematical or a statistical concept. But when you talk about psychology, it essentially means that the way people think about money and how it affects us. So this is mainly what the book is about. But I will talk about the experience which I had using this book and what I felt about different things which have been talked about in this book. So the first idea that the book proposes, as I already mentioned, is that money is a psychological concept rather than a financial or a mathematical or a statistical concept, which means that a lot of the things related to money happen in the minds of the people. How they think about the money, how they think about what are their different sources of money, how are they going to spend their money, and just the overall knowledge about how safe they feel that their money is. If we start thinking about money mathematically or statistically, it will mean that we are very sure about each of the outcomes of money, but that's not the case. You cannot predict the things that are going to happen with your money in the future. Taking for example the COVID-19 situation, no one had expected something like this would occur. When this occurred in 2020, a lot of the finances of the people were going down. They were in negative. So overall, the portfolio of many of the people was lesser than what they had invested. No one had expected this. So in case of mathematics, in case of statistics, a lot of things happen which are predictable, but that's not the case with money. And this is also the reason that the book says that the lesser you research, it can actually be better for you. Because the more you research, the more you're going to play with your money. If you have invested in a stock and then the stock stops performing well, you might take the money out of that stock and invest it somewhere else because you're constantly doing the research. But actually, if you keep your money at a place which promises a good return over a period of time, you can actually just keep the money parked in that particular investment and just wait for years and years, and you will be surprised at the amount of return you get. The next idea that the book proposes is about saving. So essentially, a lot of us have savings, and we always try to spend as little as possible, and then we save the remaining amount. But one of the things that we always do is that we know what are we saving for. For example, if you have saved some money for buying a car, you would have a specific fund for it, and you would actually analyze that the amount of money required to buy a car is X, and then you would save every month for it until you are able to accumulate the money. But the book proposes that you should actually save for no reason. This is because you can actually gain financial freedom when you save without any reason. A great example of this is that if you had saved for without any reason before the pandemic occurred, it was unexpected, and if you had money in the bank, that was a great protection for you. Let's say if you lost your job during the pandemic, you could actually wait until you get a better job. Now, if you don't have any money in the bank, if you don't have savings without any reason, you would have to take the first job that comes your way. Now you are in search of money or in need of money, so you can take any job which comes your way. But if you have savings, if you have money in the bank, it gives you the freedom, it gives you the flexibility to wait and then pounce on a better job opportunity, and the return on that particular thing is unimaginable. And finally, I also want to talk about the book and how it actually makes you feel that investing is not as difficult as people make it seem. Because if you go around looking for the sources and the news about finance, you would get maybe intimidated. You would get the feeling that it is complicated. But actually, The book says that if you just park your money in a dependable financial asset and just keep it there for a period of time, the money is going to grow, because compounding is magical, as people have talked about already. Uh, so waiting is actually the best way to grow your money. The book also talks about the investing strategy of Warren Buffett and how people over the world admire him for the amount of wealth he has generated. But people often fail to understand that Warren Buffett started investing at the small age of 10. So he got a lot of time, more than 60, 70 years of time, and he just let the money compound. So the earlier you start investing, you are going to get more returns on investment. So rather than researching, rather than analyzing a lot of things, just giving time is one of the best strategies in finance, and that can actually help you in the long run, because ultimately you want to save money for a rainy day, for a day in the future which is unpredictable and probably will surprise you, and you would be in need of money in emergency. Finally, I just want to say that this book is a good book if you want to start learning about finance, because people always may get intimidated with finance, and this book can actually tell you that finance is not as complicated as people make it seem. But this book does not have specific strategies or specific formulas which will give you an investing strategy. This book will give you a path. This book will give you a mindset which you can follow. So this is what I learned from this book, and I will definitely put this book in my reread list. I am going to read this book again and again, because it has a lot of things which you can understand, which may take time to understand. So you have to read it once again at least to get the full gist of it. So let me know if you have read this book, how you found it in the comment section, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for watching.